Perfect pork belly served with salsa verde and Lisa's ultimate potato salad. And I mean, it's ultimate.
I've got a veggie stuffed squash and a chocolate and coconut pie.
I don't want to put you off when I tell you that this isn't just a pork belly, this is my 5-hour pork belly. But trust me, it's not quite as daunting as you think. It's the 5 hours of cooking, but there's something really lovely, and actually it's quite simple.
Yep.
Because you put it in the oven and you basically leave it alone. But cooking a pork belly is one of those things that took me a really long time to get right. Lots of things went wrong, some were tough.
What with you? Really?
Yeah.
Things went wrong when you cooked? Never.
Don't be cheeky, stop it.
Don likes a few kitchen accidents.
Okay, fair enough.
But I know exactly what you mean. And it is, once you perfect cooking a pork belly, you'll never look back. And also, the kitchen smells divine when you're cooking it. So it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, but the other thing is that to understand what a piece of pork belly can do, because you can have it for your lunch or your dinner, and then you use the other bits and pieces afterwards for whether it be fried rice or whether it be chopped up or whether it be cold or whatever. But the pork belly traditionally used to be quite fatty, but pork's changed a lot. And the way in which we do pork belly this way makes sure that it's not fatty. It is a lovely piece of meat, and it has to have the skin on.
Yes.
And that bit on the top is what you'll all know as pork scratchings. If you go and have a pack of pork scratchings, then it is the
skin, the crackling.
Crackling of the pork. And what we're going to do is we want crackling.
That's the only reason I like pork belly.
It's the only reason you like pork.
Yeah.
Everything else you just go around gingerly around the plate. The pork, the rind is the most important part for you, that crackling. So to get that right, you need to score it.
Yeah.
Score it really, really well. Whilst on this, could you do me a favour? Could you peel for me 5 cloves of garlic?
5? What's gone into you?
Because it's really important that this is bursting with sunshine. What you've got to do now is I use a serrated edge knife. It's the easiest way to do a bread knife. And you cut quite deep into this rind, like really quite, a lot deeper than you think, all the way in, and you do it on an angle. And if you do this, you will always have a lovely bit of crackling, especially if you follow this 5-hour recipe. This is the 20th anniversary of this recipe.
Is it?
Yeah, because I opened up a restaurant in 2000 in Smithfield Market, and this appeared on the menu on May 15th, year 2000. And so there it is. It's over 20 years old and been doing it ever since, but it did take a long time to get right. Now, once you do that one way, you do the other way, but you can see it's really quite open. It's not in any way, you know, just a little tiny scoring. And your butcher can score it, but for me, if you do this with a bread knife, you know that you've actually scored it deep enough. Yeah. And I'd say the same to you if you're going to do a pork leg, that you really score your pork leg quite deep, or shoulder, and use a bread knife. It works just as well.
But it's also a bit like doing a gammon at Christmas, isn't it? You're sort of getting it that deep in.
Yeah, you've got to get it right deep. And again, it took me a really long time to work out that just use a bread knife rather than struggling with other, you know, sharp knives and things. I'm going to wash my hands.
Okay. So 5 cloves of garlic. What do you want to do with those cloves?
I'm going to ask you to crush them.
Okay.
Now, the other side of the pork belly has some bones in it, these little tiny bones. But what happens is they can shrink. So just with your knife, you just score in between them, and that will stop those muscles from shrinking and making your meat go tough. So it's just enough so that they score, but also when it's cooked, the bones are going to come out and it makes it a lot easier. I've got to wash my hands again.
I'm having fun smashing the garlics.
Smash the garlic. What we need besides the garlic, which needs to be crushed, we need salt, paprika, and lemon juice. A really good amount of salt, a good spoonful, and I'm going to,
gosh,
put it on the bench. 2 spoonfuls of salt. The salt helps the crackling as well. A good 2 spoonfuls of paprika. And then to that, we're going to add that garlic.
Okay. So there's the garlic.
Thank you.
Into there.
I'm just going to crush that garlic a little bit more.
Oh, it wasn't crushed enough.
No, that's all right. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. And then, thank you. Once you've got that mix done, what we need to do is we need to take some lemon and really squeeze it across the top of that pork. Really squeeze it over there. And then the other one as well. And then massage that lemon juice into the pork. Really massage it in, get it inside those little bits so it's there, perfectly done. Then
Lovely.
a little bit of oil.
And because it's on the fat, it's not going to dry it out, because lemon juice, if you put it into chicken, do you know what I mean, on a chicken breast,
Yes.
and cooked it, it would go quite dry.
Yes.
So because it's going through all that fat,
Yes,
that's
well,
not going to happen.
No, but also the other thing is there's something about acid that helps to make the crackling work. Put your seasoning across the top, your salt and your paprika and your garlic, and again, that gets massaged really, really well into that pork with the lemon juice and the oil. And then it sits and really sort of get it right into the corners. Lisa, could you do me a favour? Would you mind making our classic potato trivet, please?
You want a high trivet.
A high trivet. So when you
Trivet.
cook a piece of meat, like a lamb leg or a pork belly or something like that, what you want is the circulation of air to go all the way around. And the only way you can do that really is by making a trivet. So you could use a tray or a cake rack, but for me this works so much better. Put your potatoes in the tray, and then we're going to lift the pork up and put the pork on top of that trivet, that pork there like that.
Actually, the potatoes are gorgeous afterwards as well.
They're really good because they take in all the juice.
They do.
I'm going to wash my hands. Could you tear me a piece of greaseproof that we put across the top, please?
I mean, it's looking good already, and it's raw, and just a bit of paprika and garlic and lemon juice, and just amazing.
Now, to make sure that your pork belly cooks properly, cooks all the way through, there's this whole thing about roasting, steaming, and steam penetrates very, very quickly. So into the bottom of the tray, I'm going to put about 2 or 3 cups of water. So it's just a sort of, a decent inch of water in the bottom of the tray. And then cover the whole thing with greaseproof first, and then foil. If you just put the foil directly on top of the pork, what will happen is the foil will stick to your rind, and then we have a problem because then you won't get crackling. Thank you. Seal the whole thing, 2 bits of foil. And this is now going to go in the oven at 160 degrees for 4 hours, and you do not touch it. I'm saying to you, do not touch it.
Don't
4
touch
hours.
it.
After 4 hours, you're going to take the foil off, turn the oven up to 180, and that's for the final hour. That makes our 5 hours. Goes in the oven. It's as simple as that. We're also going to put with it a Salsa Verde, which is a green sauce to you and me, and an extraordinary potato salad.
Well, it's not that extraordinary. It's this potato salad that John is obsessed with, which we've made forever in our family. And I don't know why you love it so much, but I think it's because the potatoes are about to break apart. Look at that.
That is what you call a pork belly. So now we've got crispy skin.
I'm saving one of those potatoes there for me.
The crust across the top, you've got crunchy crackling, which is good. Just going to let it sit and cool a little bit, because I'm then going to turn it over and take those bones out before we cut it up and ready to carve to serve for our lunch.
That is magnificent, Jono. You've excelled yourself.
Did I just get a magnificent, darling?
Yeah, you
did I? That's really cool. Well, to go with that, your magnificent potato salad.
This potato salad came from my grandma, and it's basically, it was always made with Maris Piper potatoes, or quite old potatoes, and that she boiled so that they were, you know, when you parboil a potato and you do it for a roasty and you get it so that it is lovely and fluffy but almost breakable. That's what she always did with her potato salad. So you have to sort of look after your potatoes because they do nearly come apart, but that makes the salad so lovely.
So you don't cut them into cubes or anything, because otherwise...
cut them into cubes once they're on here. If you cut them into cubes and boil them, they become a sort of watery mush.
So you want like lovely fluffy potatoes.
Yeah.
How would you like these spring onions cut?
Right, well, I don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything Aussie chefy with them on an angle. We
No.
just want a nice slice. You can do whatever you want with
But
the bacon.
thinly sliced.
Thinly sliced.
Yes. The thing is, I have never made this potato salad. I've just eaten it. It is glorious. It's one of those things that I could have a potato salad sandwich.
Yeah.
I know it's a double carb, but it's got so much wonderful seasoning in it, and it just reminds me of being a kid and just it's ultimate.
Yeah,
the best.
it is a proper old-fashioned salad.
So you're going to chop those potatoes.
Yep.
We've got spring onions, quite a lot of spring onions, and then what else is going to go in with that?
So I'm just going to, actually, you can get it out while I'm just finishing off
Yeah.
these. I'd like salad cream,
Yep.
some Dijon mustard, and some mayonnaise, please.
Any other consonants?
Continents?
Consonants. I just felt like I'd have some mustard, some salad cream, some mayonnaise. I sort of thought you were on
Like
you know,
I'll have a pea, please, Bob. Oh, no, that's Blockbuster.
that's something completely different.
Right, I'm just going to wash my hands. So now I'm going to make my dressing, which is mayonnaise. So a nice couple of tablespoons of mayo. Salad cream, which is my secret, or my grandma's secret ingredients, which just adds a little bit of a vinegary tang to it. You know, there's that real difference between salad cream and mayonnaise. And lots of people used to say, there's not much of a difference. There's a huge difference.
Yes.
And then some mustard as well.
But I love that you're staying true to it. You're not trying to say, oh, I'm not going to use salad cream anymore because it doesn't work. It's one of those things, as you say, going back to being a child, that was reused in the original recipe. Don't change it.
Well,
Don't mess around with it.
Well, do you know what, though? Yes, for me, I don't want to mess around with it. For some people, they'll have their own recipe, which will be slightly different, and they can mess around with it.
Do you want gherkins in your potato salad?
No, I don't want gherkins,
Oh.
but I'd like a little bit of parsley would be nice.
A bit of parsley?
Yep,
Just chopped?
yep, please. And some salt and pepper, which is the most important thing, because it was really lovely to get a nice sort of crunch of salt. Do you know that? When it's not properly mixed?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you can actually taste the salt in it.
Yeah, so I'm going to put a nice grind of salt through it.
Where do you want your parsley?
Well, you're going to help me do this little bit.
Am I?
Yeah,
Why is that?
because I'm going to start mixing it with my hands,
Right.
and then you can sprinkle everything in so it all gets coated.
Let's just say to everybody, this is for us, for our lunch.
Yeah.
We're allowed to mix it with our hands.
Yeah.
And your hands are clean, so that's
They're
fine.
clean, I've just
right.
washed them.
So what am I doing?
So you're going to put that in first.
Parsley?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then can you, while I move that through, can you do the spring onions?
Yes.
Thank you. Lovely.
Yeah.
And then just if you can spread that lovely mayonnaise. Great.
Enough? Oh, sorry,
Ooh.
I put too many spring onions in there. Whoopsie daisy.
And then my lovely mixture.
And then your lovely mixture, okay. I'll just get rid of these because I need this bowl.
No, I need you.
I'm coming.
I need you.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you need me. That's what happens now that we're married, isn't it? That you need me. So I just push this
Do
in.
the garden.
Oh, thanks. Oh, come on.
That's enough,
Look, I
isn't it?
picked roses from the garden today for us, for our table,
You did.
and everything.
You did.
So there's your potato salad.
Yep.
Keep on mixing that together. I'm going to take this belly pork apart very, very easily. So you take the belly pork out of the tray, and the potatoes underneath that we saw was the trivet. They are absolutely delicious. These little potatoes here are like paprika porky chips. So they're the sort of secret that we keep for ourselves.
Paprika porky chip. I want the paprika porky chip.
You turn the belly pork over onto its crackling, and then where the bones are, because we scored where those bones are, what will happen is, because it's been cooked for such a long time with the steam, the bones will literally fall out and come out of the actual meat itself. So they just pop out, and it's lovely and tender. They can be sort of spare ribs to go on the side, but the reason I take them out is so that it's easier to carve. There we are. There's the sort of, when you cook a lot, every so often there's little things that you keep to one side just for yourself,
Yeah.
selfishly.
What do you call them? The chef's
Chef's rights.
right.
Yeah, so you get this sort of chef's rights of the little rib bones and the potatoes. Keep the pork on that side at the moment because it's going to be cut. When you cut a piece of pork like this, if you cut from the crackling side, unfortunately it will fall to bits. So what you've got to do is cut from the non-crackling side, find yourself a decent chunk, a place to go,
I'm here.
and
I'm
then
here, there's this.
there, and then you go across all the way along and then through the middle, and you'll hear the crackling go. And you'll hear it move and cut. And then do exactly the same halfway through. So you've got a nice square of pork.
It's amazing, isn't it, that it's been in for so long and it's still so juicy. And
then, oh, it's beautiful and juicy. And then you turn it over and your crackling is intact and it's lovely and crispy still. So we've got our pork. I'm going to serve with that now. I'm just going to wash my hands. With this, we're going to make a salsa verde. Potato salad, salsa verde. In a bowl here, I've got a big handful of parsley, big handful of basil, and I've got some bread, white bread, which I've soaked in vinegar. And you put the white bread, the parsley and the basil into a food processor. It's really fast, it's really delicious, it's very, very easy.
And what's the thing about salsa verde is that you can do whatever you want with it. You can make it your own very quickly. Yours is very different to mine. But it's a really lovely sort of acidity to that pork, isn't it?
Yeah, and salsa verde simply means green sauce. So it can be whatever you like it to be. Take that, give it a little blitz, and it will turn to a sort of green puree, almost like a pesto mixture, and the bread holds it together, but the vinegar gives it the sharpness, and then the olive oil gives it the richness. To that, I'm going to put in...
That's why I married you.
To that, I'm just going to add a really good pinch of salt, a little bit more oil, just a tiny bit more oil. It's a little bit a bit thick, so just a touch more vinegar. And then some capers and a couple of anchovies.
You said it right.
I said it right for you because I love you and you've got my potato salad. So that means I'll say it right so you don't give me a hard time and I can eat my potato salad. Put as many anchovies in there as you like. And then you just give it a quick blitz so that the anchovies and the capers aren't quite as pureed. That's that. So now, to put it all together, my Lisa.
Are we putting it on this board?
We're going to put the pork on that board.
Yeah.
And we're going to just put that pork on this board here so that we can see it as it should be. There it is. There's the pork belly and a couple of lovely pieces of pork belly there. Then into the bowl we put our salsa verde. So we've got a lovely salsa verde with the pork. There. And I sometimes, with a piece of pork like this, which might sound a little bit unusual, is I sometimes like to serve this with a nice hunk of lemon that you can squeeze over the pork. With that, we've got your extraordinary, very, very delicious potato salad. Lisa, we've made lunch.
We certainly have. This next dish always surprises people. Even the meat lovers in our family absolutely love it when we make this stuffed squash. And the end result tastes as good as it looks.
It looks fantastic, but it tastes better. And the thing about it is it's proper good food for veggies. It's a really, really good idea. And I just worked out as well, there's no dairy in it, because you use coconut.
Yeah.
Wow. Very clever. We start off with a butternut squash.
We do. This is a big fella, this butternut squash.
It's a beauty.
So we're going to cut him in half.
Yeah, I think the thing to remember is whenever you do a squash like this, don't have it up like that in the air. What you do is lay it down, find it the best way, and do it in two parts.
Yeah, and this is the
half and half.
This is the soft part.
That's
I
right.
always find that bit the easiest.
Go with your big knife into there.
Yeah.
Once your knife's there, then just go down the centre. And don't worry about going all the way through, that's fine. Then go to the other end, so you're doing half at a time, and then do that there. Take your knife out again, and then go down. And I really do think people should be careful with stuff like this. So once you've done that, split it in half and open it up.
Scrape out all the seeds, and then with a knife, you're just going to score like that, like that, like that, so that we've got nice crisscross all the way along.
Almost like our pork belly.
Yeah, a bit like our pork belly.
People saw our pork belly earlier on. Just use a spoon to take out the seeds.
And then we're just going to rub it with a little bit of oil. And then we're going to put it skin side up.
The concept here is to roast your squash whole,
Yep.
And once it's roasted whole, then all the flesh you take out to make the filling for the squash.
So I'm just rubbing both the top and the bottom with a little bit of oil. And then we're going to put them
On there, okay.
on there.
Good. Right, that happens there. And then they go in the oven at what temperature?
At 180
Yes.
for about 35 to 40 minutes. And here's some that we made earlier.
Just wash my hands.
So I've got these lovely squashes, and the reason that you put them that side down and the skin side up is so that this doesn't go completely soggy.
So you turn those over,
Yep.
and then you want me to take the flesh out.
You take the flesh out. I'm going to cut up everything else to go into our lovely squash. So I've got some spring onions here, which we're going to use. I've got some bread and some tomatoes.
Spring onions, bread and tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the squash itself.
Yeah.
But you see now, by scoring it, what's happened is that the squash has gone very, very soft, and you just scoop out, not completely to the shell, but scoop it out so that you can get sort of almost a butternut squash mixture. It's a sort of a puree or chunky puree. I'll keep that to one side. And the great thing about this is that a lot of the time people peel squash and they don't actually use the peel. And the peel is, when it's done like this, is absolutely delicious. So that goes back onto a tray, so that's that one done.
Yep.
So once the squash has been in the oven for about 45, 50 minutes,
Yep.
whatever, near an hour, then it's actually really quick to make, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And depending on the size of the squash, it can take a little bit longer or a little bit less time. So we've got some spring onions that are just going to soften. I'm just going to add a clove of garlic, which I'll just grate into there, and some chillies. That's lovely, thank you.
What do you need me to do?
If you can just halve the tomatoes for me.
Of course.
I love a cherry tomato. In our house, cherry tomatoes are eaten like sweets. You put them in a bowl before we're about to make a salad, and the little pixies that live with us, you turn your back and they've all gone.
They are gone.
I'm going to add some chilli flakes to this as well. So a nice big pinch of chilli flakes, just to give it a bit of a punch.
And already that smell of the spring onions and the chilli together. And the good thing about soft-skinned squash,
Yeah.
so butternut squash, for instance, they are really, really good to keep in the cupboard because they will last for a good sort of 10 days before you use them. So, you know, if you got one, don't worry about using it too quickly. It's fine.
And also, you can use half and then save the other half. They keep very well. I'm using some lovely sourdough here. I've started using bread instead of potatoes, really, and it adds a really nice sort of crunch to the dish. So into there, John, can you just put those tomatoes? And I'm just doing a couple of slices of this sourdough.
Yeah,
But old bread is fine to use. Anything you've got that's
any old bread's fine, isn't it? Tomatoes go in.
Tomatoes go in.
Yep. And do you need anything from the fridge?
So could you then please, there's some coconut milk in the fridge. We're using the sort of coconut milk that you can drink. You can drink any one, but not from the can. But if you had a can, that's absolutely fine to use that too.
So coconut milk and coconut yogurt.
Yeah, that's for the serving, the yogurt.
Oh, the
So
yogurt's for the serving. Great.
yogurt.
Yogurt. In a bowl away. I put some salt and pepper there already for you, Lisa.
Have you put it in?
I have, yeah.
Great.
What's that?
So look how lovely this is already. I mean, tomatoes, bread, spring onions,
Chili.
chilli, and this squash is what you would say a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, Lisa. But, it sort of takes that squash from being just a humble squash into being a meal with not very many things, not very much at all.
Well, we're going to put some herbs through it as well.
Oh, what do you want?
I'd like some coriander, actually, through that.
Fancy. Look what I've got in the fridge.
That's good,
A
isn't
bit
it?
of coriander.
And I'm just going to put a couple of spoons of coconut milk. And it's not to make a big, gloopy sauce. It's actually just to bring all of this together. So you can smell that coconut just works really well in it. And then tumble in that coriander. So I'm just going to now fill my
Shall I
little
bring
cups.
that to you?
Yeah, bring it to me.
There you go.
Thank you. And if you can cut that lime,
Yes.
we're going to do a nice squeeze of lime over the top of this.
Okay. Do you want a little bit more coriander
And
from the top?
yeah, a little scattering of coriander as well.
And we've got some yogurt here as well, haven't we?
We have got some yogurt, or yogurt, whatever you want to say, which would just be a nice addition to the top of it.
It is really, really simple, and the addition of the bread means that it does bulk it out, and it means that there's plenty there to share. For me, it's as good cold as it is hot. You much prefer it hot.
I do.
But the other thing about it is that you can make this up and then just warm it really gently in the oven. It's fine. Take that off there. Lift that up there. Put that onto there. You're going to squeeze the lime on there, my love.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just take you. Come on, come on, you. Don't fall apart on me. There you are. There we are.
Just a little squeeze of lime juice.
Sprinkle of coriander. Not too much to lose the colour. And then where do you want this, my love?
I just think you can just do a little drizzle.
Little couple of dobs across the top.
Yeah, of the coconut yogurt, as you like to call it, which just adds another bit of a lift to this dish.
A bit of pizzazz.
I was going to say pizzazz. Welcome back.
You're in time for dessert, and it's a good one. It's a chocolate and coconut pie. So this pudding is a true thing of beauty, and like everything else we've made today, it's really not as tricky as it looks. It's also great for sharing. It will hold for a long time, and it's fun to make. It's a chocolate and coconut pie, so it's sort of chocolate custard which is set in the fridge, and it's got a cheesecake biscuit base.
Yes.
So we're going to start off with a biscuit base.
So we've got just some digestive biscuits, some desiccated coconut, and some butter. So I think it's about 350 of biscuits, 120 of butter, and I don't know how much desiccated coconut.
25 grams.
25 grams.
And whilst you do that, I'm just going to separate 4 eggs to make my chocolate tart filling. So separate 4 eggs. Want to have the egg yolks and the egg whites. You can always make pavlova out of something like that if you want to. The trick is to get the biscuits all crunched up first.
I'm going to add some desiccated coconut and just blitz that along with our biscuits.
The idea of this chocolate and coconut pie is it's just that, it's chocolate and coconut, but the coconut more than anything is really in that biscuit base, and then we add a little bit of coconut across the top, although the filling does call on coconut liqueur.
Oh, yum.
So then add your butter, and it goes together really quickly, doesn't it?
It does, and it's just, do you know what? A buttery biscuit base is one of the most delicious things.
It's all stuck to your bottom.
That's all right.
So I've got my 4 egg yolks in a bowl, and I'm going to add, on the stove, I've got 250 mils of cream, and I'm going to add to that 180 mils of milk.
Yeah.
So you're going to push all that together.
I am going to push it all together.
And it does need to sit in the fridge for a good hour or so that the base itself holds together and sets.
Yeah.
Trying to rush a cheesecake, it never works.
And actually, a really good way to do it is to you always use a spoon. I find it's the best way. And I start with my edges and then worry about the base afterwards.
So as you continue to do that, I'm going to make the custard. And there'll be lots of complicated ways to make the custard, but we made it really, really simple. So the deal is I've got 4 egg yolks. To those 4 egg yolks, I'm going to add to that 40 grams of corn flour. Now those 40 grams of corn flour are going to be the thickening agent, which means you can't boil it again. Because corn flour, if you boil it, the whole thing will collapse. It doesn't stay thick, so don't put it back on the stove. 150 mils of coconut liqueur. That's 70, 100. I'd measure that if I was you. I'm just looking at it from when I make a pina colada. Which is
my favourite cocktail. But oh my gosh, he makes them strong.
So you whisk together your egg yolks and your corn flour and your coconut liqueur in a bowl. Add to that the sugar. Mix that together. And then what we're going to do is make a custard, really. Make a custard, but make a chocolate custard. So I've got 400 grams of chocolate, 200 of milk chocolate, 200 of dark chocolate.
Right.
And if you've got a block of chocolate, you want it to be small pieces. So you just drop it on the bench and smash it, or hit it so that it comes very, very small and crunched up, and then just drop those bits of chocolate into a bowl.
And this is now done, so it's ready to go in the fridge.
They can go in the fridge. Thank you, Lisa. I'll turn off my stove. Do this one. And the smaller the bits of chocolate, the better, because they will melt faster. The cream and the milk have come to the boil, scalded, as it's known. Chop those up, just break those up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So they're a bit smaller. And then my egg yolk mixture with my sugar, egg yolks and sugar mixture now. We whip that together. You pour your scalded cream and milk across the top. Whisk it very, very quickly, and that makes your custard base. Then, once you've done that,
ready.
you pour that hot mixture straight away over your chocolate and let it sit for a minute. And the reason I'm leaving it to sit for a second is that I want the chocolate to melt. And if I start to stir it, then the chocolate won't melt because you're putting cold air into it. So let it sit for a second and then give that a nice stir and the chocolate starts to melt. And as it starts to melt, because we've made this anglaise, the chocolate melts, the egg yolks cook, and the corn flour thickens. And it all becomes, very simply, your chocolate custard. You don't have to cook it anymore.
So do you want your tart tin?
Tart tin, please, a lovely tart tin. So that's how simple it is. But make sure that chocolate is all dissolved. Give it a good stir. And as it starts to cool down, it thickens even more. And you can hear it.
So good.
You can hear it change. You can hear
Yeah,
that.
you can.
It turns from being hot chocolate consistency to more of a chocolate ganache consistency. And then that poured into a tart case with our biscuit base. And you can see it's quite thick now. It coats the spatula. Coats the back of a spoon is always a good thing, a good judge for a dessert. Pour the mixture in and fill your tart case with your chocolate mix. So that now goes into the fridge. And it sets for a good 3 hours.
Okay.
After 3 hours, you pop it out of the mould.
Yep.
And you've got yourself a chocolate tart. Are you ready for this? Ta-da!
Look at
One
that.
tart au chocolat. Now, I'm going to make chantilly cream very quickly. Icing sugar, a good spoonful or a couple of spoonfuls of icing sugar. And then what you need to do with the icing sugar is to put the vanilla into the icing sugar.
Right.
And a good glug of vanilla in your icing sugar. There you go.
Let's get that into the fridge.
Then you take the icing sugar and the vanilla and you mix the two together.
Yep.
That makes the best way to get your chantilly cream, because then you know you've got your sugar and you know you've got your vanilla in there already. You add to that a bit of double cream. So there's that. You now whip this cream together.
What do you want to serve it on?
A pretty plate.
Like a nice little blue plate for a wedge?
Yeah, a nice pretty plate for a wedge, I think.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, lovely.
Right.
Whip the cream. It comes up fairly quickly because it's cold. You use icing sugar rather than using granulated sugar. That way, with icing sugar as well, you don't get the crystals of sugar in it, and it does whip a lot faster. I don't know why that is, but it does.
Yeah.
So you've got your cream, hot knife, and then down the centre, nice little wedge. The reason I'm using a hot knife is that then you get a lovely point at the end of it. It's a sort of restaurant trick that your chocolate now is perfectly, which should be perfectly cut. There we go, look at that.
Yeah.
That's a perfect little bit of chocolate tart. Drop that on a plate. We get ourselves a little blob of cream. Could you pass those coconut flakes over, please, my love?
Can.
Thank you very much. You take that, and then you put some coconut flakes across the top of your cream there, and a little sort of spiral like that, so it looks like more like a little sort of spider. So there you go, chocolate and coconut pie.
What an end to the feast we've made today.
I think we've got plenty left over for later as well.
Absolutely.
I hope you've been inspired to get thinking about who you'd like to share a lunch with soon. For now, it's...
Have a lovely happy weekend. We'll see you next time. This looks so delicious.
Your favourite time of the day? Because I go quiet and you sit in peace.
Cheers.
To you.